Hello and welcome to a series of videos I've been doing lately that have just set the world on fire. No, my videos have not been setting the world on fire lately, and that's okay. You know, I may not be the most viewed DJ channel on YouTube or the most popular, but I'm one of the oldest, and I do the videos I want to do, and I do them my way. They're definitely a little different than the way everybody else does them. And that's how I do most everything that I do. I'm a little different. I'm weird. I do things my way. And we're going to talk about another one of those things that I've done that's a little different and served me well in this video. And we're going to call this a Tuesday DJ Gig Tip because we missed it on Tuesday. This is Thursday. So welcome to Tuesday DJ Gig Tips, brought to you by Vibo, the music planning app. There's a question that I get a couple times a week. How do I book more events? How do I get started with my DJ company? You know, things of that nature. And it's really hard for me to give advice on that because I did things different, like I do everything else. I was doing a recorded segment for DJN TV with John Young last week, and this came up. The question was, how did you start your DJ business back in the old days? How did you get your events? John told his story. My story was very different. And I'll tell you what happened. I started my company. I let people know that I started my company literally by making phone calls. And my hand hurt from writing contracts. I was super busy immediately. My year was crazy busy. And I had all of my DJ equipment paid for by the time I did my first gig, which was like 6 weeks out, just with the security deposits I was collecting. And that's a true story. I didn't do what most people do. I did it a little different. Here's the thing. I had been a DJ for 10 years when I started my DJ company. I was DJing in junior high school at skating rinks. I was doing weddings and things like that for mobile companies in high school. So everybody in school knew me as the DJ. I wasn't the most popular kid in school, but I was the DJ. I was the one kid in school they could give that title to. So when people were getting married, they would contact me. Hey, Brian Red's a DJ. Let's call him. Hey, do my wedding. Also got work from the clubs that I did. People at the clubs knew that I was a DJ, and they would tell their friends, or people at the club would know that I did mobiles as well, or ask me, hey, do you do weddings and things too? That was one way I was getting work. The other way I was getting work was that I was working with all these different DJs at these multi-ops, right? And a lot of these DJs went on to start their own companies before I did. And they were doing wedding shows and doing big yellow page ads and some really amazing marketing. And whenever they would do a wedding show, they would send all the overflow to me. They could only handle so much work. What they couldn't do, they sent my way. I had other DJ companies out there who were, kind of like an agency or a multi-op, where I would subcontract from them. They were happy to hear that I was in the business. As soon as I announced, hey, I'm doing this, they would call me and send me work. I know that's not how most people do things. And yeah, that fits me pretty well. I don't do things the way most people do things. But that's how I did it. But what would be the tip here? Because most people can't do what I did or want to skip that step of being a DJ for 10 years before you start your DJ company. I know that. People don't do things that way anymore. People buy equipment and start a DJ company before they really know how to do it, or they practice at home a little bit. I know that. I totally know that. And I'm not even hating on it. I'm just saying that it's tough when you're first starting out and you don't have a reputation for being good at what you do. That's the key. Have a reputation for being good at what you do. That's what I had when I started my DJ business, and that's why I got the work that I got. Almost 30 years later, next year it'll be 30 years, I still get work that way. Yeah, I've tried other things, different avenues of advertising. And they've never been nearly as successful as just word of mouth. Just people know me by reputation. Calling me up, hey, got a client, can you take care of them for me? Sure, no problem. Hey, I got this gig. I'm in a bind. Can you do it for me? Sure, no problem. I guess that's tip 2. Not only be good at what you do, but be reliable and work well with others. It's tough sometimes. I know there are some markets out there that are pretty cutthroat. And not everyone who I've met in this market I can say I consider a friend, let alone a colleague, because there are some out there that I won't work with, that I have nothing nice to say about, so I don't say anything at all. But I've got people like Wavy Davy, who I have known since the 1980s. I've known Scott Thomas. I've known him since the 90s, early 90s, I guess, ish. My friend Art I've known for 10 years. Big Ron I've known for about 15 years now. There are a lot of others that I know and I trust and I like. And we send work back and forth. It's what we do. If they need help, I help them. No matter what it is. If they're in a bind and they can't do an event, if I can, I do it for them. If they need equipment that I have to do the job that they've contracted, they're welcome to it. What goes around comes around. I got a call this week from somebody who I've met a couple times. Nice guy, pays attention to my social media stuff. He used to live in the market, this market, but now he's moved out of state. He's got a friend he needs taken care of, so he's referred me to his friend. Thank you. Another guy, he's got a company down in Illinois, and he's wondering, hey, can you do work in like the Western Chicago burbs? Is that cool? We're going to talk. Off reputation. That's how I do it. Be good at what you do. Work well with others. And you'll get the work. It's all about real networking. Real networking. Talking to people. Being good to people. So work with cool people. Be cool to them. And be good at what you do. And you'll be busy as a DJ. That's it. I'm done. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you so much. Practice and enjoy.